So a question I've received actually quite a few times in emails and messages is, can I replace the thumbstick on my Pro controller or my Joy-Con even? The Joy-Con's a little more iffy. You have to get a specific part for it with the Joy-Con itself and the thumbsticks they use. But what's interesting about something like the Pro controller, and this can also be kind of put towards a PS4 controller as well, is these thumbsticks are completely replaceable. Now, I understand why people ask, because when I worked at the stores and we'd get trade-ins and stuff, these thumbsticks would get torn up pretty good. We'd usually have that, and we got to a point where we actually ordered new thumbsticks and we would just outright replace them ourselves, and we would just remove some off the top of the trade-in. Most times people were okay with that, but it was something I would see probably on, and I'm not even kidding, half the controllers that would come in, the thumbsticks were just chewed off or just rubbed in really bad. So I understand why people are messaging me about that at times, even with things like an Xbox controller, for example. And today we're going to take a look at changing the thumbsticks out on the Pro controller. We're going back to that Super Nintendo custom shelled one that we did here. But we're going to do one extra thing. We're going to go a little further with it. We're going to replace it with magnetic thumbsticks from the Xbox Elite controller. So this should actually feel a lot better getting that done, and it's a pretty easy mod to do, and I'm going to show you actually how to do it and where you can even get the kit from to make this as easy as possible, and then we'll kind of talk about the results in real time after we've kind of installed them. Okay, so first thing, let's take a look at the kit that you can actually get. This comes in like a little black pouch, and the link for this, I just got this on Amazon. It was Prime shipped. There's a link down in the description if you want to check it out. And the pouch itself does even come with like a, here we go. It comes with screwdrivers, so you get a Phillips and a Torx. Actually a security bit there too on that. That's actually pretty handy to have, to keep that around for certain systems and even controllers. Like I know 360 controllers were the worst because it used a security T8 from what I remember, and that was such a pain to get that done. But in here we also have the magnetic bases that you see in the Elite controller. We took that controller apart for the Xbox One and noted that they were very heavy. These are pretty much those same sticks. They are a third party, so they're probably not exactly the same feel-wise, but they have a similar weight to them, and they overall feel, you can even hear it on the table, like they feel really good. If I actually hit it against another one. So yeah, it's pretty solid. Comes with a couple different types of, there we go, thumbsticks. Of course, very similar to those Elite controllers. Like I said, these are a little higher, so these would stick on and they'd be much higher off of the base. And these are magnetic as well, so they do jump to them, so it actually just kind of grips them up. They also have smaller ones we're more used to currently with our setup at this time. And then it has the rounded ones. So these are the ones that you'd be more akin to like a PlayStation controller, PS3 controller, I guess specifically, since the PS4 controller even has like little divots similar to what the Pro controller, the Switch Pro controller and the PS4 controller has similar divots on there. So this would be more like, I guess, an old school. Maybe you like kind of the dome shape on the top. I don't. I prefer divots like these, like the Xbox controller. But that's the good thing about this. We're going to go ahead and install these, all right, into our Switch Pro controller. So we'll go ahead and do that now. We're gonna get this guy apart and see how long it takes, I guess, to do that. Also, let me know what you guys think about the new overhead camera I have here. I changed out the GoPro for a different one. So let me know if you like this one more. I think it's more clear just kind of looking at it. So thumbs up for that, right? The overhead camera really helps add an extra dimension to these videos, and I really like it. So better production going forward. Again, screw comes off each one. These guys come right off. Very easy to get in. Then we have a couple more Phillips heads. You can do all of this pretty much straight up with just a smaller Phillips head screwdriver. You can get a nice little kit. Like this screwdriver I'm using here, I wanted to get one that most people can get. Went to Walmart. They have a whole kit that was like 10 bucks. And this one works fine. Like, as you can see, I'm powering through this guy pretty quick here. And no issues. It's one, I think it was like one of those like large, like 60-something bit ones. I really just wanted sharp Phillips head drivers, but it came with all kinds of Torx screws and everything, so it's set up pretty well. So there's our battery. If you ever have to replace your battery, you're already in, and you're replacing it now. And we have a few more down here to get through. These are a little further in there, a little deeper into the plastic, but they should come right out. And I like the idea. Once I got the Elite controller, I was a little more sold. This isn't like a new mod or anything. People have been doing this. But I became a little more interested in it after I used the Xbox Elite controller, because that really, really sold me on these thumbsticks. The one in this top corner up here is always a pain to get to, but fortunately I guess they gave us one that makes it a bit easier to get in there, the one that actually came with it. But that is by far the worst Phillips head screw to get to because it's so narrow. But hey, their screwdriver actually came in handy this time. All right, so after a little playing around with it, because there is some like sticker glue down here, or just little stickies that hold it down, this guy comes right off, and we just have this ribbon cable to play with, and we're off. So these are separate. You don't need to do anything else with this. This can just kind of go off to the side. You're good on that. And then here we are. We are now to our thumbsticks, and they just literally pop right off. There is nothing holding them down. Pick them up. These ones are going to go right on there and replace them. They are the same size and shape, so they just kind of go right on there. You're going to notice a little more weight, because these are, you can even try, you know, when you get them, you can check them out. These are just hollow plastic, very, very thin plastic even. So it is much different with having these guys on there, which is much heavier. Once we have these on there, you can see they move around pretty good, they feel good, and you can kind of check at this point if you want, just to make sure everything feels good there. It does. And you don't even need to have these on when you're putting it together, which is nice, because again, these change out on the fly. So I guess you could have like one long one and one like a short stick as well. They just change out on the fly. Something I really like, by the way, about the Xbox One Elite controller is that those will just change right out. So actually at this point, we're pretty much done. If your controller's a bit older, you can spend some time cleaning up. You can also remove this board and clean out all your buttons and everything. We've done like much further teardowns for the Pro Controller, the Switch Pro Controller, than this. We're just changing the thumbsticks out. So if all you're doing is doing thumbsticks, you're pretty much good to start putting it back together. So once we get this ribbon cable in, we'll be able to close it all the way back up, and at that point we'll be able to test it out. Now as I'm putting this back together, something I've noticed with aftermarket thumbsticks, and it's been like this for a while. I remember even on the 366 we would put on there when we would change them out. If you over tighten the back screws that hold the front faceplate in, or just the controller together at all, you'll get some rubbing with the sticks. So what you want to do is when you're putting it together and you get to a point where you feel like it's screwed in completely, you want to turn it and loosen it like an eighth, not even, just to make sure there's enough clearance on the front sticks. Otherwise they will stick, and I've seen this a lot with all types of thumbsticks. So you basically give it a slight turn to back it down just a bit when you feel like you've screwed it in to where it's really tight. You want to just give it a little bit of a back down, just to give it, because sometimes the sticks aren't the exact diameter, and that'll cause them to stick even when you're trying to move them with your hands and your thumbs and everything. And what you can kind of tell by taking it and kind of rotating it, and you'll feel where it's kind of rubbing. So this one, for example, is rubbing right there where it's a little tight. And it also could have to do with the aftermarket shell that I have on. That's very possible as well. There we go. So this one feels much better now. Everything looks good. Battery, yes, we're good. And the idea with these thumbsticks is they're modular, of course. So what that means is if your thumbstick gets chewed up again, these just come off, obviously. So you've pretty much done the legwork to have to change thumbsticks out on the fly. That's something I really like about the Xbox One Elite controller, by the way, is that these thumbsticks change out on the fly, which is really nice. So otherwise, though, it works well. I've seen some people take these controllers and kind of file down the other side on this end because they were sticking. And a lot of times you can kind of just back the screws down just a tad on either side, and that'll do it as well. But there are a lot, people have changed out this D-pad for the Xbox One Elite D-pad as well. I don't know if anything's really gonna fix that D-pad to the point where a lot of people want it to be, but there's a lot of modifications you can do. The thumbsticks are very easy to change out. And this kit works. There are other kits. You can even get some crazy thumbsticks, different colors and everything. There's a lot of stuff you can do, and kind of just the modding scene around the Switch Pro Controller is really taken off, so it's kind of neat. But these are pretty cool just because I like that these can be changed out so easily. They literally just kind of go off, and then they grab, and then they press on. Now I'm using these dome sticks that are just horrible, by the way. These sticks, just like your thumbs, just float right off of them, and I don't really know why people would use those when these ones are just so much better. I'll put these back on, and there we go, guys. I now have Elite Xbox One thumbsticks. So maybe I will check them out to see if filing down does any better for kind of friction around it. but if you're playing, it seems pretty solid. So I think this is a pretty good mod. I like the idea of being able to just change the thumbsticks out on the fly, but otherwise, it's pretty cool. I don't know, having elite thumbsticks on there that feel much more premium than just the plastic ones, it's kind of a neat idea. It's a mod that I saw online I thought we'd try out here, and so far it's pretty good, I think. I'll use this controller going forward more and more and just see how everything feels from there. But installation, easy. End product looks pretty good, looks very premium. So let me know what you guys think about this modification, if you've already done it, if you've tried it, if you've seen it online, and kind of what you think about it and everything. So thanks guys for watching. This kit is pretty easy to find online. They have them all over Amazon. I'll leave a link to the exact one I use down in the description for you. But this was just a look at the Pro Controller with the Elite Thumbsticks on there. So let me know what you guys think about this. You should give a video a like if you liked it, guys, dislike if not, and I'll see you in the next video.